Hello. Hi there. I'm Sophia Fenichel. I'm the founder of Mrs. Wordsmith and CEO. Mrs. Wordsmith is on a mission to illustrate the English language. We're trying to create the Pixar of literacy. We're one of the fastest growing companies in the UK across all sectors right now, and we're coming to America this spring. We've got a really exciting team of 20 Hollywood artists who worked on Madagascar, Hotel Transylvania, some of the greatest kids' films of our time, working with us to illustrate the language, and a team of machine learning specialists out of Cambridge working with us to curate the quagmire of our English language. And what I'm going to do here is take a slightly different approach, because we have been very lucky and we just raised a very large $12 million round. And rather than give you an investment thesis, I want to take you through a story of how you can change education when you focus on bringing creativity and data science to work magically together. So first, let's start with the before. The before, as we know, is tedious. It's one of our words, and we're going to go through some of our vocabulary. I might quiz you at the end of this. This actually started with a journey with my daughter, who is very fortunate to have educated parents. And I was called in by her English teacher, Mrs. Galloway. That's Mrs. Galloway. And she said, she can't write. And I said, well, that's impossible, because I'm a great writer, and writing is hereditary. And she said, no, it's not hereditary, and you need to fix this. I need to fix this. I was heartbroken. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't believe that my daughter couldn't write. She was tongue-tied. She really didn't know how to find the words. She had cultivated what academics call learned helplessness. And as she continued, her fear of writing compounded, and it got worse and worse, and I didn't notice it. I needed a plan, a visionary plan. I wasn't sure what I was going to do, so I did what every tech mompreneur would do, which is I went to Amazon. I bought every single book on vocabulary, writing, grammar, punctuation. I mean, I spent far too much money, and there was nothing. It was shocking, actually. I was buying books called 250 Words Every Fifth Grader Needs to Know. And on the cover was denim, pancake, apocalypse, and determined. And I thought, how is that possible? How are we going to help these children develop a voracious appetite for language if this is the way we're teaching them language? Irrelevant. The story has a happy ending. She killed it on her high-stakes exams, and everybody on the school run, all her teachers, the head, the people that I was paying to educate her, said to me, show me the words. And I thought, that's so interesting, show me the words. We all have this problem, and it's nobody's fault. It's because the English language is a million words, and nobody knows where to start. And words are important, as we all know, and I won't go through all the history and research behind it. I know all of you are very smart, and I've been very fortunate to listen to all the amazing academics here who have done the frontline research on words, but there is something called the 30 million word gap, which I'm sure you're familiar with, and it's a big crevasse, and it's becoming bigger. Kids are not crossing it, and it compounds with age and frustration. Words are important. Reading isn't enough. Books have been dumbed down. Kids skip over the words they don't know. They become intimidated. So direct instruction is required. Direct instruction is dreary. We can't just spoon-feed kids long lists of vocabulary words all the time. No one's interested. We need to do something disruptive. We need to recognize that we have missed an entire generation of educational content with our children. I call it the Farmer Joe problem. Farmer Joe is dead. My children do endless word problems about Farmer Joe and the chickens and the eggs. And when I ask them who Farmer Joe is, they're like, Mommy, I have no clue, and I don't really care. Farmer Joe is dead to these children. We need fresh content that's disruptive. That is how we're going to solve this problem, at least half of it. The other half of it is we need better curation. As I said, the English language is very large. Where do we start? How do we develop a system where we can feed these children words and help them develop an insatiable love of language? We need to take them on a journey. I call it the 10,000 word journey. This is a Mrs. Wordsmith concept. We have determined, using data science, that there are 10,000, sorry, not two, words that are relevant to academic and life success. Words such as scurry and stagger, words such as assimilate and integrate. And as you start to look at the data, you realize that we can bring this down to a manageable number of words, and that over the span of 10 years, the critical years in a child's education, we can teach them these words by bringing them to life through relevant and engaging content. And we can help them accelerate their writer's intuition by using data science to help them pair those words, such as raging bull, raging temper, raging storm, raging wind, raging debate, and raging argument. We have 6- and 7-year-old kids writing raging argument in their writing, and teachers emailing us saying, how is this possible? Crave, you crave coffee. Affection, sugar, power, attention, and love. These are statistical correlations. They form the writer's intuition. Kids love the puzzle of figuring these out, and so do teachers and parents. We have parents from English as a second language backgrounds emailing us all the time to say, I'm loving this. I'm learning the words with my children. I didn't realize that these correlations were statistical. It's so fascinating. But the innovation needs to move even further. So we're sitting together trying to figure out how do we use machine learning to take this to a new level, to help children and everyone say, how do I say it better? That's the problem we want to solve for. So we're working on something that I call monster mapping. This is a map of the English language before machine learning, a semantic map for the word monster. It's mostly based on synonyms, giant, Goliath, behemoth, colossal. This is a semantic map that we're building after machine learning. You can see how it comes to life. I call it second derivative mapping. How does a monster eat? Am I done? Really? I had so many more interesting things to say. All right, the point is, we are working on a number of products right now. We are an e-commerce paper subscription company. We are launching apps for early years and for K through 12, focusing primarily on K through 8 this year. And as I said, we just raised money. We're very fortunate from Chinese investors and American investors. Reach Capital is one of our investors. And we are here to learn and to hopefully work with districts to implement our technology in ways that are practical across the school system so that children can access our content in the most efficient way. Thank you.